Okay, this is a video about the Study in C by Fernando Saw. It's from Opus 31, number 1. This particular rendition I'm doing is from the John Mills book. It's in C major, so it's a good idea that you play through your C chord in arpeggio patterns just to warm up, and also to play through the C scale, and then go up to the 5th. So the 5th being the G note there on the top, so that's the 5th scale degree. Also, when you go up here, let's play our 4th finger a couple of times for practice. On the 2nd string D, and on the 1st string G, because you're going to need to use that in the song. So try that out, pause the video. Okay, the next thing to look at is some of the arpeggio shapes that we need to learn. So we have C here, and the top E open string. So this is a dyad chord, a 2-note chord. That's in the 1st bar, so not counting the anacrusis where we have a G at the start of the song. Okay, now the 3rd bar in, we have a open D and we have a G with our 4th finger. And in the 4th bar we have an F with an open B. This is part of a G7 chord. Alright, now in the last bar in the 1st line we have, so it's a really good idea to practice that as a phrase alone, just get used to going. The first 2 chords are on string 2 and string 4, and we have E with C, and then we have open D and open B, and then we have the 2 C as an octave, so that's C on the 5th string and C on the 2nd string. Now here's the tricky bit in the song. We have to put our 2nd finger down now and our 4th finger down, and we're going to have to turn. It's going to be a little bit of a shift in your wrist position here to make it work smoothly, because we want it to have legato, that is passing from one note to the next with very smooth character, like that. So it has to be the 4th finger there. And just to check that we are playing this correctly, let's play the open G string as well, which is a pedal note that occurs after that. So from the last bar in the 1st line is, try that out, pause the video and have a practice through the last bar of the 1st line. Okay, in the 2nd section of the song, so we're looking halfway through the 3rd line of the music, we have this D with F, and the next bar we have our C with E, and then we have something we haven't done yet, which is the F and the D on the 2nd string. So F is on the 4th string and D is here. We have to play the G open after that, so just to make sure you are holding your 3rd finger at a right angle to that note so you can let this note ring, let's play that. F with D, and then the open G underneath, which should ring freely, and they should all sustain over top of each other. Try that out, practice it a bit. The next chord is much the same. This is the 4th line. At the start of the 4th line we have E on the 4th string and C with the 1st finger, followed by the open G. So we have to let that G ring, so make sure your fingers are not in the way. Okay, and is there any more interesting stuff? Some tricky stuff towards the end. Let's go 4 bars from the end. So that counts the anacrusis bar at the end there. So really it's the 5th line, bar 1, 2, 3, 4. 4th bar into the 5th line. We have E and C, so string 4 E, string 2 C. Then we have C on the 5th string with the open E 1st string. Then we go back to that note. Now you see how I'm shifting here from this position to that, and I'm actually taking the chord off. Let's avoid that. Let's hold them down, because we actually can hold them all down at the same time. And when we do that, we get our standard C major chord that most pop musicians know. So just let it ring. Let it sustain over top. Okay, the next bar, bar 5, we have to shift this 3rd finger down. It's a little tricky. Down to F and A. So you're going to have to practice this where you move these 2 fingers together, both down a string set. Then your 4th finger comes in here. I remember learning this, and this was a little bit tricky, trying to get that 4th finger in. Had to learn where to find it. So you might want to practice going from here to there and then learning where that 4th finger goes. That's important. Don't forget your rests in the song when you're practicing it as well. I'm going to do a performance of it now. Here we go. 1, 2. Okay, so you can actually play the melody part along to what I'm doing there too. So if you're just playing the melody, which is all the stems going up, except for the pedal G, technically that's an accompanying part. But I do play that when I play the melody because I like playing it. So what I'm talking about there is the second line, first and second bars, where you have a G note where the stem goes up. It's actually a harmonic part, but I like playing that when I play the melody. So if you're a melody player only for this song, like this, you can play along to the solo part I just played. Now you're going to have to watch out, I did make an error, my apologies. The first time I played through the first section of the music, at the end of that section where we have the repeat sign to go back to the start of the song, I accidentally gave an extra beat rest. My apologies, it's a little early in the morning still. I hope you enjoy this song. It's actually really pretty, and this is one of the pieces I play when I do gigs. So even though I play lots of fancy stuff, I'll actually pull a song like this one out to play because it is just so pretty. Even if it is a student piece, it has a really lovely melody. So I hope you enjoy playing it, and it's really excellent for learning some basic guitar shapes in terms of what we call tenths. I'll explain those another time. But it's a really good starting point and a lovely melody. And Fernando Saw, the composer, is a really awesome guy. It's really, he has a very interesting life. You might want to look it up, what he did in his lifetime, because he's actually a fascinating character. Okay, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you get lots of practice in the holiday, you know, lots of fun practice. Just do the things you like doing. Learn this, learn some new songs as well. Practice the 10th arpeggios, look up something new, like a new scale. And have a happy Christmas, everybody. I hope you do really well and everyone stays safe and happy. Okay, all the best.